All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a totally massive day in defense news, May 17, 2026. And to explain all these updates in short, really skip the fluff, we're diving right into the high-level takeaways. We've got 14 critical updates to get through. We're talking everything from literal billions in domestic investments to some pretty unprecedented strategic partnerships that are absolutely reshaping regional security. To help you wrap your head around this massive volume of info quickly, I've broken this explainer down into four main themes: strategic partnerships and alliances, expanding domestic defense infrastructure, aerospace and drone developments, and finally, missiles and naval systems. Okay, let's get into it. Starting right off with Segment 1, Strategic Partnerships and Alliances. Specifically, we're looking at the rapidly deepening ties between India and the UAE. So this breakdown brilliantly lays out just how multifaceted these new agreements are. I mean, in one single strategic sweep, they are hitting multiple critical sectors. You've got a major new ship repair cluster setting up in Gujarat to boost maritime cooperation. Then there's a huge move for energy security with reciprocal crude storage. And on top of all that, they're launching a brand new defense framework. We're talking industrial collaboration, joint equipment production, special ops interoperability, and cyber defense, the whole shebang. But what you really need to take away from this is that 30 million barrel figure. This is absolutely crucial for national emergency security. The UAE is bumping up its crude storage in India's strategic reserves up to 30 million barrels, and India has reciprocal plans to store its crude in the UAE. It's essentially a giant mutual insurance policy against global supply chain disruptions. Pretty smart, right?
Moving right along to our second theme, expanding domestic defense infrastructure. Let's look at the mega facilities boom happening right now.
Take a look at this number, 1,500 crores. That is a colossal domestic commitment. The Kalyani Group's Agniastra Energetics is injecting that massive sum into a brand new defense energetics and ammunition manufacturing facility in Andhra Pradesh. This is literally a monumental step forward in establishing true self-reliance when it comes to the critical ammo supply chain. And you know what? That's just the tip of the iceberg. The infrastructure boom goes way beyond just ammunition. We're tracking an additional 1,000 crores pouring into that exact same region of Andhra Pradesh. You've got Raghu Vamshi Machine Tools setting up a 500 crore aerospace facility, while Bharat Dynamics Limited, BDL, is throwing down another 500 crores for a plant focused entirely on advanced underwater weapons like torpedoes and mines. So Andhra Pradesh is rapidly turning into an absolute powerhouse for defense manufacturing.
Okay, let's pivot to our third pillar, aerospace and drone developments. We're tracking some major successes, but also a few significant setbacks in the skies.
Right now, the aerospace sector is a real study in contrast. On the one hand, you have Tata Advanced Systems gearing up for the maiden flight of their first Make in India C-295 transport aircraft over in Gujarat. Huge win. But, flip the coin, and HAL's CATS Warrior Loyal Wingman drone has kind of hit a wall. Construction has definitely started, but that highly anticipated first flight, yeah, that's unfortunately been pushed back. Despite that setback with the CATS Warrior, the broader tactical drone space is accelerating fast. For example, Indra Rare Systems just bagged government funding for their Sibyl 200 logistics UAV, and at the exact same time, Chennai-based Hill Defense is rolling out the Eagle 11. This is a lightweight tactical drone boasting a 3-hour endurance and a 50-kilometer range, totally purpose-built for ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. So what do these technical and assembly hurdles actually mean for the calendar? Well, it means some major indigenous aviation milestones are basically getting kicked down the road into late 2026 and 2027. First, Tejas Mk-1A deliveries are now aimed for September 2026. That CATS Warrior first flight we mentioned slips to 2027, and the Tejas Mk-2 prototype rollout is delayed until around March 2027. It's a stark reminder of just how ridiculously complex advanced aerospace manufacturing actually is.
Finally, let's dive into our fourth and final theme, missiles and naval systems. We're focusing heavily on strategic weapons here.
So, a newly issued NOTAM, that's a Notice to Air Missions, just dropped for a massive 1,000-kilometer range zone over the Bay of Bengal, active from May 21st to the 22nd. And that immediately begs the vital question, what exactly is India testing out there?
Well, this upcoming test is widely expected to be the trial for the ITCM, or the Indigenous Technology Cruise Missile. For those keeping track, this is the highly anticipated successor to the Nearbay program. It represents a massive leap forward in homegrown cruise missile tech designed to prove out vital subsystems and domestic engine capabilities over that very impressive 1,000-kilometer range.
But honestly, the most shocking update of the day might just be this. Russia has made an unprecedented offer to India for the joint production and, get this, global re-export rights of the S-500 Prometheus air defense system. I mean, we rarely see technology transfer offers of this magnitude. Actually, it's almost unheard of to get the rights to re-export a system like this globally.
When you actually look at the sheer capability of the S-500, it's staggering. We are talking about a 600-kilometer engagement range, a blazing fast 3-second reaction time, and the ability to literally intercept hypersonic missiles and targets in low Earth orbit. Looking at these specs, it becomes instantly clear why this kind of tech transfer would completely alter regional defense dynamics. It is, for sure, a true next-generation shield.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought on how a nation actually balances all this. You have incredible leaps in diplomacy and these mega facility boom investments right alongside the stark reality of aviation production bottlenecks. We've seen billions poured into new domestic factories and massive strategic partnerships forged with the UAE and Russia. Yet those simultaneous delays in crucial fighter and drone programs show that scaling complex manufacturing is just incredibly hard. So the big question is, given this really complex mix, how will these concurrent successes and setbacks actually shape military readiness in the critical years ahead? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and definitely keep an eye on how these fascinating developments continue to unfold.